Be good today. What's up, guys? Hope everybody's doing well. Liverpool versus Everton 1-0. Almost a continuation of the derby, the last derby that they ended up playing at Goodison Park. It was not easy. It was very, very difficult for Liverpool. They could have lost in the first half with Beto. Beto, despite what the commentators were saying that Beto's not the forward that Everton want him to be, but he looked very much like that forward in this game, especially in that first half. And Van Dijk had a little bit of a more than a little bit of an issue trying to keep him at bay. I thought he did really well getting away from Van Dijk, out muscling him, outsmarting him at times. Van Dijk with the offside, was it the offside goal? I believe it was the offside goal. He was kind of asleep, and you could see him just throwing up his hands in the air when he ended up scoring, but it was an offside. So he knew the frustration of that. Yeah, I should have done a better job. I think he completely missed, and luckily he was offside. But afterwards, when he got the jump on both Kanate with the header and on Van Dijk, getting to the ball before him, I think he ended up full swinging the ball and missing the ball. Van Dijk and Beto by himself, and unfortunately the finish ends up hitting the post. But that easily could have been a first half 1-0, maybe even a 2-0 had it not been offside for Everton. And what a calamity! Not because I don't think that they're gonna. I think I'm on the same mindset train as most people. I think that they're gonna win the EPL, but not because of that. Just because playing at home, and definitely a game that you should be winning. But again, this is Everton. Just because it's Everton, it's difficult. The derby, when these two teams play, I've seen them play several times now, and it's always been difficult. It's always been difficult. Even though Liverpool end up playing really well against bigger teams, against teams like this that they have a history with, like, there's something else. It just becomes a different game. Becomes a different league, a different tournament almost, when they end up playing Everton. So it was very difficult, very, very difficult. As far as performances go, one of the most salient things that pops out was Jota's goal, and Luis Diaz. I thought he had such a difficult match in terms of not being able to score. That's all he needed, and you could tell when he was being subbed off, he really needed that goal. Like, his morale was just, I'm sure he's happy for himself. I'm sure everyone's telling him what a great game he had. Probably man of the match. If he wasn't, I would put him up there and as a man of the match. But he wants that goal. He needs that goal. He absolutely needs that goal. And I'm happy at least that he got the assist for Jota. At least he got the assist, because he did pretty much everything else. Like, every attack was pretty much going on the left hand side with Diaz. He led that attack, and I'm so happy for once that it was Diaz or somebody else and not Salah, because a lot of these balls that end up going to Salah, yes, Salah has the numbers, he's scoring so many goals, but in games like this where Salah in the first half, he had like 2-3 clever passes, and then after that he didn't do anything else, right? And that's always been my complaint with Salah. I admit that he's a great player. He's probably on his way to winning the Ballon d'Or. Absolutely deserves it, because nobody else is stepping up. Only for that reason. But this time around, like, whenever you gave Salah the ball, the same thing, just running into players. I get what he's trying to do. He's trying to get a nutmeg. He's just trying to get the ball past the guy. And since he's so small, agility, center of gravity like Messi, if he gets past them, he's going to be 1v1 against the defender, 1v1 against the goalie, and more often than not, it's going to be a goal. When Salah's in that range, when he's in that position, he's always going to score. That's one thing I can count and say for certainty Salah will score. But today, yeah, he was just kept very, very quiet. He had a very, very quiet game. And yet still, and I'm happy that he was subbed off. Actually, Slot having the Kasaba size balls to be able to sub him out. But despite all that, I mean, he's a great player. But it's really good to see Luis Diaz on the other side take command of the attack. He only needed that goal. There were often times, that he should have passed instead of shooting. And then when he was passing, he should have done a better job. There's a sequence of probably 3 passes in a row that he wasn't able to, and you can see the frustration that was getting to him, just like looking up at the sky, like getting all pissed off. Keller, I thought, had a good game. Kanate also. Van Dijk, despite the little mess ups here and there with against Beto, otherwise I thought he did phenomenal. Robertson, man, like, what was it, like maybe a month ago, he was getting criticized so hard. Everyone was asking him for him to leave. He's got to leave. Thank you so much for everything you've done, but it's time for you to to see your way out. I thought he had a really good game. And yeah, it was close. It was definitely close. And had it not been for that goal, because as soon as they scored that goal, things changed, and you saw a little bit more of the Liverpool that you see. They were controlling the game with a lot more ease because they were doing that in the first half. But every now and again, it was Everton with Alcaraz almost scoring in the right before the whistle blew in the first half. So there were definitely chances for Everton to be able to score. Like I said, Liverpool were mostly in control of this game, but after the goal, after Jota's goal, it was definitely more of the old Liverpool with just a lot more ease controlling the game. Those two yellow cards, I don't know what's up there with let's start with the one of Pickford. I don't know why Pickford didn't get a yellow card for kicking the hell out of Diaz. Maybe because they already blew the whistle and Diaz was just pretending that he didn't hear the whistle, and then he ends up getting the whistle. I don't know if he got the whistle because he acted as if he didn't hear the whistle, maybe, or when he went outside, he was rolling outside, and I think he rolled back into the field. So maybe he got the yellow because of that. But definitely, that could even have been a penalty. Am I wrong? That could have been a penalty. So I think in another game you would have seen that as a penalty, and it wouldn't have been that big of a deal, depending on the circumstances, obviously, right? Because that was, I mean, what was that from Pickford? And the fact that he didn't get a yellow, I don't know. The one that should have definitely been, come on, it had to be a red. And I'm trying to find a reason to see Tarkowski's point of view, because the clearance was well. Tarkowski isn't a snowflake. You know when he's going to go and defend and clear a ball like that, he's going to give it his all. He's going to go with a little bit of malicious, a little bit of, ill intent. But I mean that was enough to crack a player's leg. I don't know why they didn't give him. I don't know why they didn't give him a red card. That should have been a red card. Definitely should have given him a red card. So I think Everton got also lucky in that first half, not being sent off, not having Tarkowski sent off. In another game, I would have seen that. And from what I remember these seasons, that's a sent off. Another thing I realized, where's Chiesa in all this? I'm wondering. I'm really asking this because I did see the highlights against Newcastle in the Carabao Cup. These are just highlights again, so I could be off here, but I thought he seemed like he played well enough to be able to play a game like this. Or is it that he's not ready for a game like this and they're trying to gradually get into games like these? What's the deal there? Even though Nunez did his pestering, did what he's supposed to do with a game like this, and it was a good introduction, but at some point, put Chiesa. At some point, I thought you would have put Chiesa. At least when you were taking out Salah, I thought you were going to put Chiesa in. I get it. You're going to put Endo in to, secure things, but I want to see Chiesa. I don't know why he's not making a Chiesa play. Maybe there's just a bias there that he doesn't really, care for Chiesa that much. Anyways, guys, that's all I have to say about that. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.